It is our turn. It is our turn. It is our turn to rule. Now, there are over 250 main ethnic groups in Nigeria. If you keep rotating the presidency every 8 years to each and every ethnic group, times 8 by 250, how many years are you going to get? So some people will die many times over. They will reincarnate many times over. The presidency hasn't come to them. Nigeria is a joke and an absolute mess. It was not created by black people. Therefore, it cannot be sustained by black people. I want to see an Africa where a Yoruba nation, a Yoruba mega nation extends from Togo all the way to Edo State. That's what I want. Because that is authentic Africa. I don't know why Africans are so beholden to something that's alien to them. Are you a white man? The looker that created Nigeria is a white man. What are you doing as an African defending something that a white man created out of, should I say, a racist intent? Nigeria was an ordinary company, Royal Niger Company, an ordinary business venture that the British converted into a nation. And Africans are killing themselves, trying to maintain something that a white man created. Sometimes I wonder what type of God made African people. I don't understand it. And that is why you have this neo-colonialism. That is why the British High Commissioner had to go to Tinubu to ask him, how do you end this protest? Because if this protest continues, you're jeopardizing our oil. Nnamdi Kanu can use it as an advantage to go and get Biafra. They asked the army to go in and kill people. You people are being ruled by your colonial masters. Your fate is not in your hand. You're in a country that is 60 years old, so to speak. There is no electricity. If I am a Nigerian, I can't come out and say I'm a Nigerian. I'll be ashamed of myself. For 60 years, you have no electricity. For 60 years, no good roads. For 60 years, no good schools. For 60 years, your politicians are traveling abroad for medical treatment. I ask you, what is there to be proud of about Nigeria? Name one thing you can be proud of. Name one thing. It's a question I'm asking you, Dele. Tell me one thing you can be proud of in Nigeria.
Nigerians are amongst the brightest people in the world, including the Igbo people, of which you are one. You're a very brilliant man. That is Nigeria in your DNA.
I was born a Biafran, not a Nigerian. Nigeria is a historical mistake.
Was there a birth certificate at that time that wrote Biafra on it?
Of course, yes. You want me to show you? I will show it to you. I can email it to you. It's not here with me right now. I can email it to you. My person is Biafra.
I don't mind.
I will email it to you. So you see, what I'm asking is, if Nigeria never existed until the white man came, why are you as a black African man defending it? What's the white man created? Why? When you have Yorubas in Benin Republic, Yoruba is in Togo, they speak your language, they eat your food, they dress the same way you do, you have the same culture, the same value system, the same orientation, and I'm asking you, and the white man came from Europe and said, oh, you are Yoruba from Togo, you speak French. You're Yoruba from Benin Republic, you're going to speak French. But you're Yoruba from Nigeria, you speak English. Are people not perturbed by that? That level of dehumanization, that level of subjugation. You see, the one thing that shocks me about Africa and their class of intellectuals is the fact that they are willing to swallow hook, line, and sinker anything the colonial master gives to them. And I've asked you this very question. Can you go to Europe and create a country as a black man? The answer is no. Then why must you accept what a white man is doing in Africa? Do you see why we are poor and very backwards? Do you see why Nigeria can never have 24 hours of electricity? Never, ever, ever, ever. Because the foundation is faulty. The orientation of Fulani Janja, people were protesting SARS killings in the south. Fulani people in the north, we are busy having fun and laughing and smiling. And you want to be in the same country with them. Your value system, your reasoning, your understanding, your orientation can never ever be the same. Never be the same. Why did Britain leave the EU? Then I'm asking you, are they not Christians? Are they not Democrats? Don't they believe in free trade and voting people in and voting them out? But then, why did Britain leave the EU? Why? The same Britain that left the EU is asking me not to leave Nigeria. Nigeria that is only 100 years old. Your grandfather was not a Nigerian. Was not. So why must you throw away the history of your family, the rich history of Yoruba people? Because a white man called the place Nigeria. Why must you do that? Why? Can I go to England and name them and name them Albania and say all your history is now gone? We are doing our ancestors a disservice. And let me tell you why Black Africa cannot go forward. Some people, not you, some people accepted this nonsensical balkanization of Africa with their useless flag independence. And your ancestors are in the grave. Your ancestors that existed before the white man was born, they are in the grave. You jettison their history and their identity. You banish it, you denigrate it, you insult them by accepting this garbage called Nigeria, and you want them to be happy with you. That is why no Black African country can see development. No Black, you see South Africa, when whites were running South Africa, everything was good. Now Blacks took over. Look at what is happening. Because even the land of Africa itself is angry with us. We went to school for a reason. The reason why you go to school is to question certain things. And the question is this: why is it that you as an African, you're willing to kill, to die for something a white man created when they cannot do something for you? You see how they are not equal to us. You see why they are always better than us. And nobody can tell me with any ounce of conviction or justification the reason why Yoruba people should be in Togo, in Benin, and in Nigeria. Why can't they be in one country, same way that the English people are in one country in England? Or should I say in the UK? These are the things that we must ask ourselves.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, Mazi Nnamdi. I mean, you are very passionate about your beliefs. Nobody can take that away from you. So now we get to the stage where I already jotted down some questions from members of the public. The first is that you hold a dual nationality. So they are saying you have a choice, you have an option. What about those who have nowhere to go?
The reason why you are interviewing me today is because I got lucky. My parents didn't get lucky. People who were in my house did not get lucky that very day. They died. My dog also died. Jack, they killed my dog. Now, listen very carefully. People don't understand. You see, there is a level of flippancy in Africa, and should I say, we don't interrogate any concept or phenomenon with a great degree of sincerity. Why do I have a Nigerian passport? The same way that Awolowo, Chief Obafemi Awolowo, held onto a British travel document. Did that stop Awolowo from fighting for Nigeria to be independent? I'm asking you a simple question. Did that stop him? Awolowo went to Glasgow to study.
Document.
Exactly. He traveled abroad. Awolowo traveled abroad to study. He read economics in Scotland, and he came back, probably even on British scholarship. The fact that Awolowo was availed of free education in England and traveled to England by ship in those days with British papers, did it stop Chief Awolowo from fighting for independence of his people?
And I must say, he was a lawyer.
Thank you. Sorry, I do apologize. He was a lawyer as well. But he also read economics. Do you know he read economics as well? He's a lawyer. I agree. Now, I'll ask that question again so you answer so that the whole world can hear. Yes. The fact that Awolowo went to England and studied, or let me say Britain and studied, United Kingdom, came back, became a lawyer and an economist. Did that stop Chief Awolowo from campaigning for independence from Britain? I don't know if you can hear me. Can you hear me?
Hearing you, yeah. I understand your logic, yeah.
Now, the same thing with Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. He traveled to the US. He studied. He traveled to the US with British papers. As somebody traveling from a British colony, he went to the US and he read, and he came back. And a Yoruba man, incidentally, let me tell you why they don't want Yorubas and the Igbos to be. A Yoruba man identified the talent in Nnamdi Azikiwe and appointed him the secretary of NCS. That Yoruba man is Abat Macaulay, a Yoruba man. And Zeke fought with the likes of Awolowo until Nigeria became free. Why didn't they say, in those days they were very intelligent? Nobody said to Zeke, you went to England for free. You studied. You have their passport. Now you're fighting and saying they should go. Because in those days, our fathers, they had brain. I'm sorry to say this generation, I don't know what's wrong with them. Is a social media indomie generation. And I hope that after this evening, they will become, should I say, more enlightened as to the issues. I no longer hold dual nationality. I used to have dual nationality for convenience sake, just to travel out of Nigeria, not for anything. And my hatred for Nigeria didn't start today. I've always hated Nigeria. It's a very useless place. Only a fool can say, I am a proud Nigerian. There's nothing to be proud of. Absolutely nothing. You have nothing. Individually, you're brilliant. The Ngozi Okonjo-Iwealas of this world, our brother who is at African Development Bank, very smart and very brainy, yes, as an individual, but collectively as a group, the most useless 200 million people in the whole world. Nothing is coming out of nothing, absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. So how can I be a proud Nigerian? Ordinary light you don't have. No, simple light you don't have. How can I be a proud Nigerian? Thank you very much.
Now, your governors have virtually rejected Biafra. Those are the most senior representatives of the people. So this person is asking, how do you want to deal with that situation?
How many governors do we have per state? I think it's one, isn't it?
One governor per state, yes. But they
and in a democracy,
they control yes.
During election, how many times does the governor vote?
Once.
Okay. So the people will decide, not a governor. We are not Fulani Janjaweed. We don't have feudal lords in our land. We are Democrats or Republicans. You have only one vote. Only one vote. One governor, one vote. People may dissent, they're entitled to their opinion. One governor, one vote during the plebiscite or referendum. And there is nothing they can do about it. The majority says they want Biafra. So the views of the governor, of course, may be taken into consideration, but it doesn't count because they are in the minority. We are not Fulani people.
Someone has asked, how are you funded?
We are the largest movement on the face of this very planet Earth. IPOB, Indigenous People of Biafra, we're all over the world. And our people are very, very generous. They fund us. No politician, no millionaire, no billionaire, nobody. Ordinary people in the diaspora and people at home. They fund this well-oiled machine all over the world. That is why we are formidable. We owe it to them. We don't have any godfathers. That is why I speak the way I do. If there's anybody who can say they are funding us, come out and say it. Nobody does. Ordinary people do. Because everybody wants freedom.
Someone is asking, if you say you are asking for a referendum, how come you sometimes apply force, the use of force and coercion?
That is the only thing the Fulani Janja would understand. Nigeria is a rogue creation. Nigeria is where vandals and bandits abound in political office. Nigeria is not a civilized society and can never ever be. It's not the way they are behaving. You give rice to a governor to give to people, the governor will steal it and keep it. Palliative that he did not buy.
Close the window.
The only language they understand is by breaking into those warehouses and taking what belongs to you. The criminals and the hoodlums here are the governors, not the people who are hungry. I don't know why in Africa we always want to turn the narrative upside down. So you're telling me that Fulani can come to my place and rape my mother, abduct my sister, and I'll be clapping and praying and doing hallelujah and doing prayer and fasting.
What?
Nnamdi Kanu is not like that. We hunt them down, we pursue them, we catch them, and we deal with them. As simple as that. If people can tolerate that type of rubbish, we can't take it. Never, ever, ever. Never.
Shall I close the light? The light.
You said you are a Democrat.
Yes.
Does democracy allow the use of brute force?
Is Nigeria not a democracy? That they were in Lekki shooting people. That their constitution says should not be shot. People praying and singing national anthem, we are shot. A constitutionally granted right. The state of Nigeria violated it. They are the ones that brought violence, not us. As they say, those of them that make peaceful revolution impossible, they make violent revolution impossible. They make it possible, rather. Those are the words of John F. Kennedy, not mine. An American Democrat who. And people talk about democracy all the time. The modern Britain you have today was forged in a revolution led by Oliver Cromwell that toppled the monarchy of King Charles I. Today, England is doing very well. France talks about democracy, but their democracy was forged in the heat of a revolution that toppled the reign, I think, of King Louis XIV, or the 15th, and Marie Antoinette. America, they hold you to account today if you're not democratic. America was forged in the battle of a revolution fought and led by George Washington. I don't know if we did all these things at all or not. I mean, I think Nigeria should employ me to write their curriculum for them so they can train sensible, reasonable people. People graduate from schools in Nigeria, they come out far more foolish than they actually went to school.
Someone has asked, are you not afraid for your life? And what happens?
I am dead already.
And at what happens if anything happens to you now? Do you have protection plans?
I am dead already. I was pouring some water to apologize. I am dead already. The only thing that can bring me back to life is Biafra. This life is meaningless without freedom, not just freedom. As I said before, I traveled to England to study for a reason and for a purpose. You cannot tell me that in England, they have gas piped all the way from the Scottish gas fields. There is 24 hours a day electricity. There is gas. If you're homeless or if you're unemployed, the government can give you what is called housing benefit. You can pay your rent and live in a decent home. They also give you money to feed as well. If I cannot do those things for my people, then my life is meaningless. So as I am right now, I'm already dead. I'm only waiting for Biafra to revive me and to resuscitate me. And I feel and I do pray that most other Africans should feel the way that I do. Because Africa is a failure because we fail to address the core and the key issues affecting our lives. We intend to change that. And by the grace of God Almighty in heaven, we shall be successful. My life doesn't matter anymore. What matters is Biafra. Everything else is irrelevant. And the zoo government, they know it. Everything is irrelevant. The only thing that matters to me, God is my witness, is Biafra, nothing more. I'm not doing anything. I don't have a car. I have nothing. The only promise I said to God is, give me Biafra, that's all. I don't want anything else. What am I doing with money? What am I doing with cars? I don't need them. The Biafra I do need.
Now, someone says, if you disagree so vehemently with the English people for what you believe they've done in Nigeria, how come you accept their protection?
They are not protecting me. I'm sure if they have a chance to kill me, they will kill me. They're not protecting me. The only people that ever protected me was the state of Israel. Nobody else has ever protected me. Only Israel did. So if they have a chance to kill me, they'll kill me. What protection is the person talking about? I said it before. Chief Obafemi Awolowo went to UK to study. Chief Obafemi Awolowo, because there's one good thing about the UK. If you study there, your eyes will open. You see how vocal and vociferous the protest in London was. Because we understand their game, we know the way they play it, and we feel sorry for our people that they cannot see what we have seen. But one day, who knows, their eyes may open. But as I keep saying, anything we do to ensure that freedom comes, not just to Biafra, to Duduwa, but to everybody, every ethnic group, I am all for it.
So could you tell me a bit about your project, the Radio Biafra?
Radio Biafra
of the Radio Freedom under Abacha. So I know a bit about pirate radios. So that's why I'm asking.
It's not a pirate radio. It's not pirate. Radio Biafra is registered in England. It's not a pirate radio. It is actually registered. It's not a pirate radio. That was the argument they were making before. And when they asked the UK to shut down Radio Biafra, UK told them we can't. It's a legitimate business. You know, it's a legitimate concern in the UK, so we can't shut it down. So it's not pirate. And we build our own transmitters. I don't know if you know that. The FM that you listen to in Lagos, if you're in Lagos right now, if you hear my voice tomorrow morning or the voice of any of the presenters tonight, we built ourselves. And I believe in encouraging ingenuity. Everything we have, we built ourselves. Because, of course, God is with us. And our mission and cause is noble. That is the history of Radio Biafra, and we keep expanding. And I do hope that before this month runs out, which is just a few days away, that Radio Biafra will be in Katsina broadcasting in Daura. Radio Biafra will be in Daura broadcasting. And they will complain, but they can't do anything about it because we are far ahead of them.
What are you doing in Daura when you said Buhari is not there? So what will you be doing in Daura?
No, they challenged us. The MDC challenged us. They said they're going to buy equipment worth, 700 million to disrupt what we are doing. So in response, I said I will put a radio inside Daura and I'm going to do it. I will. There'll be FM in Daura very soon.
You cannot be jammed.
Who can jam it? Who is the person who can jam it? This is the technology from Biafran and you cannot do anything about it. That is why the Catalan line is running helter-skelter to stop Biafra, because they know that once Biafra comes, maybe an African country can now put a man on the moon. They don't want that because they know what we can do. And I'm saying it out in the open. They should try all they can to stop us. They cannot stop us. Eventually, we're going to win. Because this is God's project, not man's project. It's God that said Biafra must come. Chukwu cut them up for me, not man.
On this note, I must say a big thank you to you for a very, very elucidating session. And I am definitely educated about you. I may disagree with you on a number of things, but a lot of people didn't want this interview to take place. I told them, I hate censorship. I was a victim of censorship. Everybody must talk. If you don't talk, nobody will know why you do the things you do. And those who disagree with you must still get to know more about you. And I must say, I am very, very grateful that you agreed to speak to me. And I hope very soon again, when we have cause to speak to you, at least now we've established this contact. And I really appreciate agreeing to talk to me. Thank you so much, Mazi Nnamdi.
Thank you, Dele. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And thank you for having me. Thank you.
Thank you. My dear viewers, I told you it will be the mother of all the interviews, and so it has been. Thank you all. We'll be uploading, and I'm sure a lot of newspapers will get some news out of this. Thank you, and good night. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.